Parents, do your kids a favor and teach them about money from the time they're in preschool. We're talking all about how to raise financially smart children right now on Maggie and the Moms. It's time for Maggie and the Moms. Sponsored by Tampa General Hospital. Whether they're in preschool, elementary, teenagers, or young adults, there is something that you can and should be teaching your children about money. We are talking about financial literacy today on Maggie and the Moms, and we have the perfect guest to help us through that conversation. Julie Porcelli is with Junior Achievement. She is the manager of learning experiences. Katie Gatchell.
Got it.
I was like, I have to pronounce her last name correctly. Gatchell is a volunteer with Junior Achievement. They are all moms, as is Deanna Moore, our executive producer. You each have 2 children, as do we, correct?
Yes.
So how old are your children, Julie?
I have a 23-year-old son and a 20-year-old son. One just graduated from college. The other is a junior in college.
Congrats. And you?
And I have 2 amazing daughters. They're twin girls that are just turned 10 on December 1st.
Happy birthday to
Thank
them.
you.
Happy
Happy
belated birthday.
Thank you.
So yeah, we have kids in all age ranges, and Junior Achievement is such a wonderful organization, and financial literacy is one of their huge commitments. And I got to experience it firsthand. My daughter went to your finance park when she was in 8th grade. Deanna did something similar with her daughter just last week, right?
Yeah, we did, what's it called again?
Enterprise
Village. I blanked for a second just last week, and it was so much fun, and they got to play adults for a day.
They got to play adults, but you don't have to be an adult. In fact, you shouldn't wait till you're an adult to learn how finances work. You can start from the time that your kids are in preschool, which that might surprise a lot of people. They might say, what could I possibly teach my child about money in kindergarten? And to that you would say what?
I would say JA has programs all the way down to kindergarten, and at that point we're talking about the needs and wants and really understanding the difference between those two, about making choices and then starting to bring money into that conversation, making a choice between a $1 1 scoop ice cream cone versus a $2 2 scoop ice cream cone.
So as a volunteer, Katie, with Junior Achievement, I'm sure that you have been, adopting this lifestyle and this philosophy from day one. How have you been working on that with your girls from the time that they were little?
So it's bringing back memories. Another mom and I actually, in kindergarten, we did Great American Teach-In to bring some of the JA curriculum into the school, and we taught them about coins and currency and what does that mean. We gave them money, which was pretty exciting to them. Yeah. But then talked about, same thing, is this a need or a want? What choice would you choose if you could save it, right? Do you know what saving is, and explain that concept? And then we brought that into 1st grade, and we upped the ante a little bit and did a little business where we taught them about...
In 1st grade?
In 1st grade. We taught them we made lemonade at school, and we taught them about cost of goods sold, and we talked about what kind of price, and it was fun, but it was incorporating all of those elements because it does build as you get older.
I think that you can incorporate it and should incorporate it into daily life. Like when you go, use every opportunity. Like when you go grocery shopping, that's a wonderful time. So many moms have the kids tagging along, just kind of doing their own thing. Why not make them active participants?
Such a good idea. Can you go a little bit more into what the needs and the wants are when you explain it to a 5-year-old?
Sure. When you're talking about the needs, what do you need to live each day? You need a place to live. You need food. You need clothing. As they get a little bit older, this is the example I always use. You may need a phone. A phone I would put in the need category. You do not need the most recent, up-to-date iPhone. That would be considered a want. And that the toy, when you're talking to the younger ones, the toys, they're wants. So that's how they're starting to present that.
I think that's great. Is there anything that you do specifically with your girls?
I don't shy away from talking about money. I think they're very aware of there are things that are just expensive and mom can't afford them and dad can't afford them. And there are things that, yeah, we'll splurge on this, but I don't hide it. I think some people hide it just trying to shield their kids from things, and they're going to have to learn about it sometime.
Mm-hmm. I think that that's a great topic, and I plan to talk about it during this podcast, because you have to tell kids what things cost just so that they're aware. What I don't think is smart is when you bring your financial worries home. Like, that's the kind of thing, shield your kids from it.
Yeah.
But, every time you pay a bill, my son started taking super long showers. And I'm like, okay, here's how much the water bill costs. Let's break down what that shower is costing. And so maybe that'll, or make them contribute to part of it. It's just that if they're aware, they're more likely to have better habits.
Just be glad they're taking showers.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Trying to impress
excellent
somebody.
point. All right. I wanted to talk, since we're still in the littles category, chores. Okay.
Good
Paying
topic.
for chores is something that I have mixed feelings about, because I don't think that you should pay for things that are your responsibility anyway. So if the chore chart includes make your bed, take out the trash, this is how you contribute to the family, as we all do, and you don't get paid for that. What I do think is great to pay kids for, and I'm so eager to hear what you have to say, is when you do extra and you come up. Sometimes I'll give suggestions, but also you come up with ideas, so that's making them motivated to think of an idea, a way to make money, and it's teaching them that they can work for money.
Absolutely.
That's my philosophy. Am I right on the right track?
So I don't pay for chores. I do think that's table stakes. You're a member of the family. That's just, a basic level responsibility. Feed the pets, keep your
Yes.
room clean, that type of, do your homework. We sign agendas and things that we have to do. What I go above and beyond for, and I don't do money, I do points. And I do it for more behavioral things. Like, wow, you really listened well today. Like, you were on track. You did amazing things that I just didn't expect you to have that level of behavior. If we went out somewhere, we did something. And so I try to reinforce just really good behavior, which could translate to some, wow, you really took your whole bookshelf and cleaned it off. Like, one of the kids did that the other day, and I was impressed.
So if it's about behavior, there's no money involved.
I don't do money.
Is it ever about money? Are there opportunities for your children to make money at home or in the neighborhood that you encourage?
We did not do the allowances for chores when they were growing up, but we did have a couple bigger projects, the weekend that we're going to clean all the windows in the house and we're going to go around. There was some money associated with that. So there were a few, but overall we kind of did what Katie did and felt that to live here, we're buying your food, we're buying your clothing for school and all of that. We're paying for a lot of your entertainment. Part of that is you're taking out the garbage.
I agree with you, Maggie. I do the same thing. So every day they have to make their bed. They have to make sure their room is clean. Every weekend, we don't do anything until their rooms are clean. But if it's something like baseboards or something, above and beyond that we don't do every day, cleaning the kitchen cabinets, if we have guests coming over, then I'll throw them a little something. My mom gave me an allowance when I was 10 for doing absolutely nothing, and I loved it. And I'm like,
Of course you loved it.
Should I have
Is this
done
what
that?
life is about? I don't do anything, I get paid?
I don't know.
Let's go.
Okay, I want to get advice about something I actually brought up yesterday.
Okay, let's table that for just
Yes.
half a second. That'll give everybody a reason to stay tuned after a quick break. Deanna will take us out of our suspense. We'll be right back. On Maggie and the Moms, sometimes we have cliffhangers. Da, da, da. Deanna, please share.
Okay, advice. So I don't pay for grades ever. My in-laws have decided that
topic.
this is something that they want to do. They want to give our daughters money if they get A's and B's. I'm like, fine. They're not. That's grandparent life. My daughter's taking accelerated 6th grade math, and she's in 5th grade. And she had a bit of a breakdown about it. And you only have to get a 70% to pass. And I said, if you get a 70, I'll give you a tier of something. If you get an 80, maybe I'll give you something better. If you get a 90, maybe I'll give you something even better. Is this not a good practice?
No judgment is what I want to say, by the way.
I mean, judge. I
No
don't
right or
care.
wrong, but go ahead.
I think you figure out what motivates your kids too. Obviously, you want to incorporate money or understanding value, back to what we were talking about, that you start to instill that, kindergarten level on. So what is important to them? And we do, similar to the tiering with the points. It's like, so what would you want with 5 points? Would you want to go to Dairy Queen? Is that what you would pick?
Okay.
Because that translates to money, right? Mom's spending something on you getting that. Oh, you have 10 points. Is that a trip to Ulta and you get a small thing?
So you say 5 points gets you blank, 10 points gets you. Okay.
Sort of.
That's a
Because I
correlate.
didn't say
one.
money to
Right.
her, and her sister was like, longer bedtime. Like, I was like,
Okay.
oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can
that's great
negotiate.
then.
Okay.
And how was it received? Did it help you?
She
think?
said, let me think about it.
Oh.
So
Okay.
we'll discuss it tonight, I think.
All right. So we've talked about when they're little, what conversations we should be having. When they're a bit older, I don't know. What do you think is the next good couple of tips to give, and what age range? Are we in elementary school now?
Sure, yeah, elementary school.
Yeah.
Starting to, well, my favorite, and this is still younger elementary school, but I believe that as we've gotten on and we start using our cards and we start using our phones to pay for everything, that they're starting to lose a little bit of the connection that money is actually being
true, Julie.
exchanged.
Yes.
And my son, I remember this clearly at school. The lunch ladies were rolling the little cart of ice cream and desserts behind him, and he came home one day and said, do you know if I put my lunch number in there, I get free ice cream every day? And I went online, and sure enough, he'd been buying ice cream for the last
free ice cream.
his free ice cream. And so that led to a big conversation about things not being free, and just because you aren't handing them $1 does not mean things are not being exchanged. But I feel like they watch us in the grocery store
Right.
with our cards,
Right.
and they're losing some knowledge that money's actually being exchanged.
Yes, and that's the thing. My son wants a debit card. He's now in high school, so this is a little bit later. But I feel like, okay, a debit card is good if it's something that he has to track himself, because then it'll force you to see what is the balance in your bank account. If I spend X on ice cream, how much will I have left? Because that concept, to your point, if we're just doing Apple Pay with a card that's tied to mom and dad and maybe as a credit card, they think money is unlimited,
Yes.
right? So when do you introduce the concept of bank accounts and balancing check registers and things like that?
Well, I know JA does that in the 5th grade experience that we just talked about.
Absolutely, but it starts 3rd grade is when they're starting to talk about that, the concept of savings. But yeah, tracking your expenses, very important. And like as soon as my kids could add, I really had them paying attention to that register. And the one thing I really like to emphasize with them is how exciting it is to watch your savings account grow. I remember when my son, probably middle school, and came to me and said, Mom, my account, I have $1,000 in my savings account, and he had been saving. But that there's some excitement to that versus spending all the birthday money and Christmas money that you get.
Okay, so how soon do you open accounts for your kids, and what type of accounts do you all recommend?
We had savings accounts probably kindergarten, maybe even a little earlier, as they started to get money for birthdays and things. The checking type account tied to a debit account was probably early high school.
Mm-hmm. And so special occasion money, chore money, job money,
Yeah.
it all goes into the savings, and then later checking.
My
when they're
daughters
old
have a
enough.
savings account that is tied to a checking account that my husband oversees. And if they want to buy something, they can take the money from the savings, put it in the checking, and we take the card and we pay with the debit card. So
I
I
like
think
that.
that works for them.
And do they know what a check register is? I feel
Yes,
like
because of
your husband's a
Enterprise.
banker.
No, Enterprise Village. They have to learn how to do a check register, and a part of that day is they shop for things. Then they have to minus out what they shopped for, or then when they get their paycheck, add the paycheck and figure out how much money they have in their fake account. It's
It
amazing.
is such an important thing that kids who actually are forced to do that have such a leg up on kids who are just not even bothering to learn. Do you agree?
I agree. I'm probably a little laggard with the savings account because the birthday money and Christmas money I do put into their 529.
Oh,
and they do get to
great
see
too.
that grow and explain
Yeah,
that,
same
yep,
concept.
this is for your college, etc.
Perfect. All right. So elementary school, that's where we are now. We move up to high school. I feel like this is when, if you never had any kind of financial education in your life, by the time you are in high school, you need to start. I think that is like, I'll forgive the earlier, even though you should. Agree? High school, what should every kid know by the time they're in high school about finances?
The importance of savings.
And how do you teach that? How do you teach a kid the importance of, I guess you have to model it, number
and this
one.
goes back, I think, to the discussions that, we've had the discussion when we had to pay $4,000 for the car that broke down, or something happened to the house and it was a large payment, and commented to the boys that, did you notice, while we didn't want to spend this money, we had this money there. It didn't stress us out. We didn't go into debt. We didn't spend money we didn't already have. And so just really trying to impress upon them the importance of the savings.
That goes back to what Deanna said. That's called talking to your kids about money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Saying, okay, we have to get this. We didn't expect it. How are we going to pay for it?
How much do you tell children, and I think this applies to adults too, how much do you tell them to save of what they earn? What's the percentage?
20 to 25%.
Wow, you're big.
Oh, you are an aggressive saver.
I like that.
I like that. I was
Contingency.
more at 10 to
same.
15, which is kind
Yeah.
of the JA.
You know, there was this thing someone gave my daughter when she was young. This is for little kids, but I guess older. It was a piggy bank, and it had with sections.
Yes.
It was so great. It was broken up into what did it
Save,
say?
spend, share.
Save, spend, share.
Yeah, so it's helping them to be charitable,
Right.
to
Yes.
save, and then to budget.
And I think that's a great thing.
I think the budget is the biggest thing in high school.
Okay.
Not living above your means. So
Yes.
while
Correct.
saving is a component, I think that's huge. I think it's all of the elements that you just said, right? Understanding what your basic needs are, and then what you need to be able to have a little bit of discretionary income, right? That doesn't go, and then the savings for the unexpected. So I think in high school, the biggest piece is, do you understand budget and living within your means, and having that so that you have that independence and you're not, without. You're
Yes.
not going without.
I'm going to say living below your means is our philosophy. Right? And the 20 to 25%
Yeah, that's
saver has to
aggressive.
agree with me.
That's
my
aggressive, right?
gosh.
Yeah.
I love
that's
that
what
you
we
do
oh,
that.
we want. Well, we shoot for it.
We shoot.
We
Yeah.
shoot for it. We do, obviously,
Right.
Good to have goals.
Everything's expensive, so that's not always easy to accomplish. And I feel like I wish more schools taught that as a core subject. That's why your programs matter so much, because they're not getting enough in school. Do you
I think
agree?
Florida is trying to do better. I think there's some legislation behind that.
There is now a mandatory, it is a graduation requirement, a 1-semester course in high school that just started.
That just started.
Yes.
So wait, does it go into effect if your kid is in high school currently?
So I believe it was effective for freshmen in high school last year, that they
Okay.
must have that before.
Public
they
education, correct?
This would be public charter.
Public charter. Okay.
But I mean, if the public schools are doing something, hopefully the private schools will
Let's
take
hope.
notice.
And I'm happy to say some JA curriculum is on the recommended list of
That's
some
great.
of
JA.
That's great.
activities
Is there any part of your curriculum related to finances that is important that we have not talked about?
I would say, our related to finance, our JA Finance Park, which right now is for the 8th graders, but that we've also moved in. There's now a JA Finance Park Advanced that is meant for the high school students. So it takes the initial lessons in the budgeting, and it allows the students to see the budgeting at different ages. So as a young adult, as a working longer term adult, getting close to retirement, and what budgeting how that looks different as you introduce a spouse, as you introduce a child, as you introduce even a pet, and how when you're going from renting to buying. And that is I love it when especially our high school seniors come, because for many of them that is next year.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
idea of what things cost.
Yes.
Super important. So that's something that's growing. And that we are continuing. That's one of those things that is associated with the financial literacy class that we're starting to work on bringing some of the high school kids for that as well.
I learned
Perfect.
a lot about high school aged girls. A million years ago, I used to volunteer for this organization that would help pregnant or teen moms. And they did a budgeting class. I would say 90% of those teen moms thought that hair and nails
Was
were
a
a
need,
necessity, were a
not a
need.
want.
Back to
And-
needs and wants.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was very jarring for them to say, but can you pay for your rent, for your food, for your child's clothing before you get your hair and nails done?
And they hadn't learned that yet at that age. Well, we've learned a lot today, but we got a little bit more. So stick around after the break. We'll have one more takeaway. We'll be right back. Wrapping up our conversation about raising children who are financially literate, good with money. It starts when they're in preschool, as we have talked about. But before we go in our last minutes, I'd like for you to share something that every parent can and should do for their kids, in your opinion, to kind of give them a head start, besides raising them this way. Is there anything we should do, from opening a certain type of account, or I along those lines is where my brain is going. Does anything come to mind? I'll start. We did, and you obviously have one too, the 529. And if you're in Florida, the Florida prepaid. When you can, do that for your children, because you contribute a little every month, and before you know it, their college tuition is paid off. And that is like one of the best financial decisions that we have ever made in our lives.
Yes, having two in college
You agree?
was huge.
You agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Anything else that you can think of? If you had just one tip to give parents to raise a financially smart child, or to give them a head start in life financially.
I think just truly also having the conversation about jobs, honestly, for me, like, what are you intending to make? What job are you looking for, so they can understand what that equates to? So just talk about careers and talk about money going in and out.
That could be a whole podcast in and of itself, because my daughter's
Sure.
passion has always been to be a teacher. She's now a sophomore in college, and I had to have that conversation with her and say, I love that you want to do that. Here's the financial reality of that, and just know what that means before you make the decision. And she's on board 100%. But you're so right. They need to know. They can't just say, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to get a job, and then I'm going to be able to live however I want and do all these things. Yeah, and I agree. When choosing a career, make sure you know every aspect of what that career entails. I love that tip. Anything?
Buy a piggy bank, like we talked about. I think it just helps them start to get the concept of money, even if they are as young as 3 years old. They can save it, spend it, share it. If you don't have that little container, make one for yourself.
Yeah, that would be a great Christmas idea.
Yeah.
Christmas gift. And so if parents want to learn more and they don't have, their school is not planning a field trip or anything like that, how can they tap into Junior Achievement Resources?
The best place to start is at our website, jatampabay.org, and that would start to get you connected to the different programs we have available. And there are some easy online activities that they can access as well for all grades, again, beginning at kindergarten all the way through 12th grade.
And to actually participate in the programs, do they have to do it through their school? Is that how you work?
Yes.
Okay.
Although we do work with some groups like Boys and Girls Clubs
Okay.
will bring their students, and some other groups like that as well.
All right. But like she said, there are free online resources as well. I did not know that. Good to know. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. And thank you all for watching and listening to Maggie and the Moms. We'll see you next time.